Manchester United. Today, I haven't seen the Man City game and the Aston Villa game. I was happy. I was happy that Man City was held to a draw at home by Nottingham Forest. By the way, kudos to Nottingham Forest for that brilliant performance. And then Aston Villa was handsomely beaten by Chelsea. So in my mind, we are going to cement our third position and begin to, climb up the table. Perhaps begin to see how we can, battle that second position from Manchester City. Call me a dreamer if you like, but that was exactly my thoughts coming into this game. And given our good form in the last 7 games coming into this one, I felt we're in a good place to actually play against a Newcastle side who before today had lost 3 consecutive home games. So coming into this game, I had a lot of optimism, but when we got into this game from the very first minute, Newcastle was absolutely coming at us. Even before the goal came, the penalty kick that was awarded to them from that Bruno's tackle, before that goal even came, Manchester United were basically in their own half. They were pressed backwards by Newcastle United. And this is a side that had not even won in their last 3 at home. The game went on and on. And fortunately for us, they got that yellow card that was given to Ramsey for simulation in the first half. And I was even happier that, even though they were coming at us, fortunately for us, they have gotten a red card. And that would perhaps swing things in our favor. But how wrong was I? How wrong could I have been? Because yes, kudos to Bruno Fernandes, for that assist to Casemiro for getting the equalizer. But coming into the second half, I was very optimistic, hoping that we'll, hold the game and then get at these boys. But unfortunately, Tonali and their number 7 was basically bullying us in that midfield. Those 2 guys were absolute monsters in that midfield. And you could tell when Casemiro was substituted because he was totally exhausted. And you could also see that from Kobe Mino too. You could argue that Manchester United could easily have, at least gotten a point from this game. But the way we played, I felt some of the changes that were made should have been done earlier, especially bringing Ahmad into the game. Of course, Mbeumo is not a bad player, right? But today it was just not happening for him. And that narrative was even cemented when he ballooned that ball over the bar. So I felt Ahmad would have been brought on for Mbeumo to at least give spark to the game. But that was not the case. So some of the changes that were made, are they absolutely wrong? No, they weren't. But I felt it should have been done a little earlier, to actually for us to actually, get something out of this one. And especially Manchester United, I don't know what was happening today. We were very, very slow on the ball. Moving the ball from one point to another, it was very slow. It got to a point where the coach had to begin to now tell these players to move the ball quicker, And then, I was just absolutely gutted by the last minute goal that was scored by Osula. Osula is one player that has only scored 4 goals. But unfortunately for us today, look at that wonderful strike. Yes, you could argue that Seny Lammens should have done a bit better, but at least diving as against looking at the ball and seeing where the ball goes to. I felt like if Seny Lammens has taken the initiative to at least dive for that ball, he perhaps would have gotten something on it. But he didn't do that, which is very unfortunate for us, But at the end of the day, have these boys been brilliant in the last couple of weeks? Absolutely. Could they have done a little better in this game? Definitely, in my personal opinion. But first loss in a couple of weeks. I think this is our first loss in 8, which is not absolutely terrible. But I just hope that we'll be able to bounce back in the next game. But something just It's just this law just cemented something. It is now obvious that Manchester United cannot play 2 games in a single week. If you give us a midweek game, we are going to crumble, and that's exactly what is happening. The last time we had a draw against West Ham was on a midweek game. When we played that game, prior to that game, we were winning back to back. We had 4 wins before that game, but when we played that game, we struggled against the West Ham side that is battling relegation. And that 9-minute goal that we even got from Benjamin Sesko was just a stroke of brilliance, And then again today, midweek game, same story. Struggle. Premier League, please, I want to beg you. If you want Manchester United to go for the Champions League, please don't give us a game to play in the middle of the week, because we are going to fold. I don't understand what happened. What is happening every time we have to play in the middle of the week. Manchester United has to do better. We really, really have to do better. And I think moving forward, we need to actually play from the beginning of the game as if we want to actually win. Instead of allowing players bully us all through every area of the pitch. So I mean, it's not a bad run, yes, but I mean, Michael Carrick first loss in his stint at Manchester United, 2 stints, only 1 loss, which is not absolutely terrible, but I honestly believe that these players can do better. And then goalkeeper in that situation, I think he could have done better. So let's see what happens in the next couple of games, and then we'll move on from here. At least we are still sitting third on the table, which is not entirely terrible. So yeah, let's see what happens in the coming games.